Welcome to Honest Whispers Collector Grade Inspection. On this video, I'll be inspecting the collector grade box of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Scarlett Bishoujo statue. 1/7 scale pre-painted statue released by Kotobukiya on July 26, 2019. Made of PVC and ABS. Designed from the illustration by Shunya Yamashita. Sculpted by Takamaki, Busujima. And as you can see, this comes, I ordered this from BigBadToyStore.com. They do have it bagged and then boxed before they actually put it in the shipping box. So it's basically a double box protection. I ended up returning one of the two that I bought. So I haven't opened the actual item, so they basically took it back. So I'm just going to make a couple quick incisions here. And that way I can open the box without harming the box. So for instance, I'm just going to stab it right there on the edge. And then from there, I'll just go across. That way I clean the tape clean. And then for the other side, I do the same. That way, because if I just go through like that, I might end up pushing the tape. It's not a big deal with the protector box, but when you just stab, go back and then go forward, just an easier, cleaner cut. And then for the top, what I usually do, just to tilt this so that I can show it, I kind of lift this up a little bit if I can. That way, last thing you want to do is cut too deep and end up slashing the actual box itself. So kind of a similar method. I'll make an incision going outwards, and then from there I'll kind of have this holding it so I can lift it up a little bit, and then I'll just try to slice it without going deep. So basically all you need to do is just cut the tape. So there's no reason to cut it with the knife deep inside the actual box. So that way I know for a fact I didn't cut the box, and at the same time, even these flaps, you could tell there's no marking here. So, and then when they make these boxes, it's pretty much a custom fit. As you can see, no space whatsoever. So last thing I want to do is try to jam it through with my finger. What I'll do here is just kind of open the flaps a bit. That way these flaps don't get in the way, and then I'll just kind of use gravity, I guess, by tilting it forward. And as you can see, it slides down. Last thing I want to do is tilt it in a 90-degree angle and just let it drop. I'll just let it slide down until I can pretty much grab the edges and then pull it out by hand myself. So as I put that out of the way, I'll keep that box in its place. And initially, due to the bag, hard to tell if there's any actual damage to the box. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the box itself. I'm sorry, open the bag. So usually they have it taped. That's the only form of sealing this. So, and then if you want to save the bag, usually I tend to do so. I'll try to get like an angle here where I can pull the tape without ripping it. And you want to go in a slow speed, otherwise you might leave the adhesive part of the tape left on the bag. So once I do that, they usually have, for instance, on this side, it's all perfectly flat right here. This side, you could see that there is a fold here, which means that it's also taped here on the sides. So what I'll do is probably see if I could just run my finger on the side, on the edge, from the inside. That way I can pull the tape outwards. I'll be able to create some slack, and from there you could do it two ways. You could either, I guess, scrunch the bag like you would do on a straw, opening of straw, or I guess you could kind of grab the top of the bag and just pull it out, and that way you can keep the bag kind of in a clean, untouched condition. So initially I could already see that there is a slight small crease. This is supposed to be a C9 or better, and there's also a small crease here. Let me see if I could get that in the lighting. So right here there's a crease. I want to see if I could get that. Well, you could see the crease line, just the way that shadow is. And then right here on this side, now I didn't notice this, but this one also has a really bad dent. It's all crushed up here. I wouldn't be satisfied with this as a C9. I mean, if this was just the standard, where it wasn't a, if it was supposed to be C8 or better, I would definitely be, you know, content with it. That's really the best word for it. But otherwise, last thing I want is to pay an extra $4 and have them send me a box in this shape or condition. And that's just the front and top. Let me see again if I could get that lighting. So you could see the crush mark here. A lot of creases. I mean, it's just literally, it's like dented up on the front. So looking at the back, back's overall great. I don't really see anything. This side is great. I don't really see anything as well. And then with here, of course, you kind of need to use the reflection of the light. A lot of times, due to its glossiness, reflection, or even just a black background. And even this, it's designed to be like an old, I guess, original packaging, like the actual action figure packaging that's kind of like faded and scratched up. So other than that, and then the bottom has the similar dents or like a crush mark. It's all creased up. Let me see if I could get that reflection going again. And what I might have to do is do this on a handheld. So you could already see how crushed up it is. Let me give you reflection off the better lighting. See, it kind of disappears. There it is. So yeah, this is supposed to be a C9. I'm definitely not happy with that. Whoops. And then right here, this is, the top part's probably worse. You get these crush marks here. It's kind of creased up right there, and then it's pretty much crushed up in the front. So it's as if something heavy was pressed against the front. And I guess whoever was shipping it didn't see these and then considered these a C9. If they tell me, I'm probably gonna email them with pictures, but if they tell me this is a C9, I would just return it and then just, I mean, I won't be able to get another exchange, but yeah, if they keep sending me something like this as a C9, I would be upset. Last time when I sent it back, one of the two that I bought, I noticed that this box was poorly made. So in other words, they had it made so that this part of the flap was sticking out and it wasn't fitting the box right. So it's a good chance it was damaged during the transportation or during the shipping. With this one, it just looks like they missed it and they didn't really inspect it. And as I was mentioning, you could see the now this is more minor compared to those little crushes, but you could see that crease I was talking about. If it was just that, I would have kept this as a C9. And then there's that crease right here. It's more like a going outwards crease, but this might have been created when this part was crushed. Let me show you with my hand. It was crushed in like that. So this could have been laying flat on its back and something heavy was sitting on top of it, and that's why you get the crush marks on the top and on the bottom, particularly something that's not as wide and something that's narrow just sitting on the middle. I don't know if there's any crease indented lines on the middle to show that kind of flaw. It's hard to see without the lighting, but another reason why I returned the other one is because when I was looking in at the part of the explosion, can't seem to get a nice clean focus on the bomb. Well, let me kind of explain here. It doesn't even show it. Well, how about right here? See that explosion right there? One of the explosions, or at least one of the lines that's coming out from the explosion, they packed it wrong. So it was kind of bending on the edge. It is soft plastic. I don't know if it could break. Although I was kind of worried that it might have been breaking. So usually I would want to inspect that as well. Now that I know there is a possibility of that being bent while it's being packed. Well, either way, as you can see again, this is pretty bad as far as a C9 box goes. I wouldn't grade this as a C9. And if you sent it to like a company that grades toys or statues, at least the box conditions and things like that, I'm pretty positive they would not consider this a C9 as well, with all these creases created by the crush. So yeah, hoping Big Bad Toy Store does the right thing and accepts another does another exchange for me. If they refuse or give me a hard time, I'll just have it returned for a refund. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Continue reading the King James Version Bible and eat your vitamin C's daily.